Good afternoon, I hope everyone's well today. Thank you for watching. It is appreciated as always. I'm a big believer on getting the small things right, and if you get the small things right, the big things fall in line. Same with crime, same with enforcement, same with any regulation or anything right or wrong with the country. So when we have the Environment Secretary go on TV and make large, sweeping statements about the condition of the waterways in England and Wales, it gives me pause because they can't get tiny things right, and yet we're expected to believe that yet another Quango, yet another NGO is going to help regulate the waterways in England and Wales. I'm going to play this clip now, and then we'll talk about it in a bit more detail and get to the nub of what I'm going to be saying.
It's clear that the water industry in this country is broken. Our rivers, lakes and seas are polluted with record levels of sewage. Water pipes have been left to crumble into disrepair. Soaring water bills are straining family finances. There are hosepipe bans across the country right now because not a single new reservoir has been built in over 30 years.
That's neither a private thing or a public thing, alright? Reservoirs and the water industry and the utility in Scotland is in public ownership. They've not had a new reservoir built for 40 years. I've made a video on this recently. And so for him to say, well, it's the privateers, it's the private ownership that's causing the issue. No, it's not. It's general mismanagement by governments, either by their outsourcing and privatisation, or mismanagement if they own it publicly. It's got nothing to do with the actual person who's collecting the dues that are paid, shall we say.
The lack of water infrastructure is holding back economic growth. Water companies have been allowed to profit at the expense of the British people.
So what's the excuse in Scotland, where it's in public ownership? Does that mean the state, the Scottish government, is profiting in Scotland rather than investing in waterways? I mean, what are you trying to convince me of here exactly?
When they should have been investing to fix our broken water pipes. A broken regulatory system let them get away with this.
So what he's basically saying is a broken regulatory regime in the United Kingdom is specifically causing the issues with the waterways. And what's their government solution to the bad regulation? More regulation. There's always more regulation to be had. It's not about fixing the waterways, it's about control. They want to install water meters so they can ration what water you use. A commodity. We're surrounded by water, it comes from the sky, and yet they want to control how much you actually use. It's disgusting. But the point I want to make is the Environment Agency is under the remit of this guy. Let's just check his name. His name is Steve Reed, alright? The Environment Agency is under his watch. Now in England and Wales specifically, you need a rod licence to fish, and you need the permission of the landowner or the fishery that actually owns the lakes or the canals or the rivers that you're going to be fishing on. And then there's more regulation on what you can actually take. Some fisheries allow you to take 2 fish per trip, some allow you to take more, some allow you not to take any and you've got to release at the end of the day. Some don't even let you use keep nets so you can see what you've caught at the end of the day. I know this because I go fishing, I'm a fisherman, so I do know these things, and the detail matters because the clip I'm going to show you in a moment or two is shocking. Now there are places up in the national parks like the Lake District, Peak District, all over the country, where you just need a rod licence in England and Wales that gives you the right to use and fish. Now in Scotland you don't need one, but in Northern Ireland you do. But in all 4 countries of the United Kingdom you do need permission, and you need to check the regulations to see what you are and aren't allowed to do in terms of catch and what you can take home and what you need to put back. This is very, very basic stuff. Many people that go fishing have a care for the waterways, and they want to see them thrive, and they want to see them do well, and they want to see them continue for the next generation. Some of my best experiences since I was born are going on fishing trips up to the Lake District, chilling out with a tent, with a rod, on a simple ledger swim feeder setup, and catching brownies, wild trout, and taking them home and having a meal. You know what I mean? It's just nice. It's just a nice experience. And you only take what you're going to use. And that's the simple thing. And you're doing it in such small quantities. And it's just the way it's been for time immemorial on these islands. We have a care for the environment. We have a care. I never litter. People never litter. If you go to these places in the Lake District, they're pristine, as God and nature intended. And that's the way that the British look after these places. Now, this clip is the new arrivals, the new British, the substitute population. This is what they think of our waterways.
No, they're quite a big one. Look around. No. Yeah. Look. Well, quite a big one. Hey.
I'm going to go out on a limb, okay? Call me racist, I don't really care. They don't have rod licenses. They do not have authority to fish in those waters. They do not have a permit or a license to fish on that waterway. And they certainly don't have permission to remove the catch and take it home for the pot. They don't have any of those things. A, they don't speak English. B, they probably haven't checked with the regulators. C, they've not applied for a rod licence in my view. This is just from the observations on that. And they don't care. They're here to take, they're there to plunder, they're there to remove any natural and unnatural resource that the country has. And they don't give two shits about the environment. Of course, this is just my opinion. Your opinion may vary, your mileage may vary. But if the Environment Agency can't even regulate and monitor who's using the waterways, what they're removing from the waterways, is it being replenished, do they even have the right to fish? And you expect me to believe that a new billion or multiple billion quango is going to help regulate the waste management in the waterways? You can't get the tiny little things right. Now, many English and Welsh people happily pay their licence, happily get a rod licence to go fishing, happily pay the owner of the property or the water where they're fishing, and make sure they're adhering to the regulations and local rules for the swim or the fishery. A lot of local people do this all the time. These people do not. Prove me wrong, come at me, tell me I'm wrong, tell me I'm racist, I really don't care. This really matters. You need to get the little things right and the big things will follow. If people are allowed to plunder our waterways like this on a daily basis, that's how you exhaust a population. That's how you drive populations to extinction. Now, if you like this video and you think I've got a point, let me know. If you think I'm being overly harsh, let me know. Like and subscribe. I'll see you in the next video later on today. Take it easy, you have a good day.